Hey, we just added everybody on YouTube. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining me for HOAG Money today. We all just got a big gut punch. I'm not sure if you know who Christine McVie is, but apparently she has passed away today at 79 years old. Just got that information. And boy, it really hit me in the gut. Joe just turned 79 on the 11th. Joe, my goodness. Happy birthday, Joe. Glad you're still with us. Just kind of amazed by that. So, well, let's do HOAG Money. We certainly have some mobility in the market here today. Obviously, we're all well aware that when Jerome Powell started speaking, things got a little bit crazy. This is the CFTC disclaimer. We're not calling any trades or suggesting the purchase or sale of any futures product or security here today. We know that there's a lot of risk involved, and we should only be using risk capital, which to me is money we can afford to lose. It's not necessarily a good idea for many investors, but at Top Step, you're not going to have to put up any of your own risk capital. We're going to take care of that for you. The rules for HOAG Money, kindness and respect are expected above everything, of course. We have we're going to have a couple of people that will be enabled to speak if they choose to. Of course, we're not going to force anybody to do that. We're all going to be involved in the decisions in the Zoom meeting on YouTube. We'll just keep an eye on the chat and see what people are saying about the ideas and see what we're thinking about. We are going to be, of course, asking for context of any trades that you think might be a good idea. We're going to use the chat room to discuss those trades, and again, we'll use the polling system on the YouTube, on the Zoom program in order to look for opportunities. We're going to be focusing on the E-mini S&Ps. We don't trade just to trade. We're not going to be taking losing trades, which is, of course, a joke. We all know that there is risk and there are losses in trading. We're going to accept them and move on. Feedback on HOAG Money is, of course, is appreciated and expected as we continue to try and grow and do HOAG Money better. Here's the platform. Here's what we're looking at. Hang on one second. There it is. So just having a conversation before Powell started speaking, and when we were on the lows of the day, we were really at the lower extreme of balance, looking for longs down there. I was long down there a couple of times early today. Didn't catch this huge upside move here. But there's still some opportunity here. If anybody has or would like to talk or wants to think about, discussing any trades, let me know in either the chat or you can raise your hand. Either way is okay with me. Just kind of going over the bigger picture here. We went from the lower extreme of balance to the upper extreme of balance in about the last hour and a half since Powell started speaking. Just thinking about if we were going to hold the low here, about halfway back would have been 4,000. Thought that was completely manageable, even if Powell didn't start speaking today. Now we've just taken out the high from last week, which was the I don't think we've quite taken out the high from last week, but we did trade to the point of control. Here's what we're looking at as far as areas of previous visits to here. Yeah, okay, so we did not quite take out the high of last Thursday, Thanksgiving's range here. However, we did trade to the volume point of control and the TPO point of control up at this level. And we are now at the upper extreme of the area of balance, last week's high, last Thursday, viewing as the upper extreme. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Ben, I see you've got your hand up. I'm going to promote you to panelist so we can have a chat here. Glad to see you're with us and willing to help out here.
Okay. Hello?
Hey.
Hey, hi.
How you
How are you?
doing?
Yeah, that's sad about Christine
Oh,
McQueen. I realized she was 79.
I'm heartbroken. She was always 35 to me.
Yeah, she's always looked great. And she's also always seemed super cool.
Awesome.
Can I jump right into it?
Absolutely, please.
Okay, so I do see possible opportunity here, and I'm looking at possibly the 3:40 p.m. or 2:40 p.m. Mark, 10-minute bar mark for where we might get some information. But I kind of have to show you uh,
Let's see
what
it.
I'm looking at. So let me share the screen here. So let's see. Okay. All right. So what I want to point out, we've cleared this overnight high from last week,
Mm-hmm.
but the regular trading hours high was 38.75. So that's a possible inflection point if we do get a move back down here.
Mm-hmm.
But that would take out the low of this TPO as well, so that would be a change. But I want to also point out where we're coming up on, and this is the regular trading hours bar chart. And this line, the red line there, is this high back here on September 13th. Now, just to get in front of anybody who says, "Oh, that's so far back, it doesn't matter." Look at this big gap down. I've from my experience, I know it does matter. Like even if it's past the prior contract date, which this isn't, I don't think, but this is significant. So we could get a look above and fail below it, right? Now we've come quite a long ways in a short period of time, and based on the length of this TPO, it's either chewing through things or it's lost some momentum. But also the way it's pressing, maybe it hasn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I heard you say in the there's our 51 level that we just cleared it. So maybe too late to vote for a short and risk up here. And I want to share one other thing here. Well, two other things. So trying to this is a volume chart for regular trading hours for the past this contract, and we are. Hang on, I need to make it thin again. We're at 40. So we're right here. You can see this low volume up here, right? So this is that 51 quarter, that high, and a short against this and risking this would be an asymmetric trade if you wanted to go short in front of this, right?
Right.
Well, but it might be worth a shot, and we still may have a few minutes. Now the other thing is getting on board this trend day. I missed it. I like you. I had other stuff to do, and I was done, and I had a good morning, so I took off, right? And but this is I'm going to kind of share a secret that.
Oh, I love secrets.
Yeah, it's something of mine I discovered when I started making TPO charts in the 10 minutes. So I have like J is broken into 3 letters. Okay. So we had this big move up, right? Big move up. And the yellow line is the halfway mark. Okay.
Okay.
That's half that on each one. That's like the POC, TPO POC for each TPO. If you notice, we came to the tick. Now I've seen this happen time and again. So you have to
Now,
go
what
back
level
and
is that? 39.70.
73 quarters.
73
so
quarter,
the
okay.
middle of this 10-minute bar.
Okay.
They won't broke out. But what I want to point out is that the next TPO, let me spread this out a little bit. The next TPO, I period, right here, let me get crosshairs. That's the yellow line right here of the prior 10-minute bar. So that's the midpoint. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7, 8 ticks.
Mm-hmm.
There's low volume here. So let's say the premise is this: if you want to get long, going long against the midpoint of the prior 10-minute bar. Now it's not always going to be on the tick, and sometimes you'll get stopped out. But
Sure.
Now this one, it didn't even get back there, right? Then you get to J period. We had a poor high here. That would have been an opportunity to get long. But notice how this J period opened, 10-minute bar, plus it also was the volume point of control for that TPO.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't quite get to it. So if you set your order on here, you wouldn't get in. But I mean, it's the concept, right?
Zones, right?
Yeah. So then we had these, and it sort of like took a pause. You have a little bear flag here, and it came right to this halfway mark. Boom, took off.
Now, those are 15-minute bars, right?
10 minutes.
10-minute TPOs, okay.
Yeah. You see K, K, K. Now we're in L. L. Now, will we get down to here? I don't know. Would it be worth going long? I don't know. I kind of am liking the short side all of a sudden because we've come this far. Now, one last thing I want to do, and I know we're not voting on TradeJet or anything, but I hope this is valuable to somebody, is I'd want to measure, are we, let me look at the initial balance. Okay, yeah, we definitely entered trend territory. And I was going to see if this is normal variation because a lot of times you get to that, the equidistance of the TPO, and I use that a lot lately, the past few months, to where that may be the end of it. That may be the end of a range extension, you know? But we're definitely in the trend area. So kind of hovering here, we took out those highs, and there's low volume up here. I don't know. I like the short.
Up against 54.
Yeah. Or risking 54.
Okay.
So it's just, you know, hey, it's contrarian, and they're probably the lower odds, but it's asymmetric, and you know, I wouldn't risk 6 points on it. You don't need to. You just need to risk like just above 54.
All right. Well, let's check it out. Do we want to look for a short up here against that 54 level that Ben was just showing us? I kind of like it. I mean, we're at the upper extreme. You know, this is kind of a critical area for extension or falling back into range.
I'm going to flip the screen back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
And that high, once again, was at 51 quarter, I think. 51 quarter. Let me let that high back on September. Yeah, it's at 51 quarter, and that's exactly to the tick. It looks like where we've gone to, I think. Or maybe 52.
52. So we've got 69% saying yes, 64% participation. So we're going to dive into this. We're short one at 50. Going to put our stop at 54 half. How's that sound?
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay. So we're short at 50. We got our high at 52. We're the other side of 54 just by a couple of ticks. But we'll see how this plays out.
We're coming into a new 15-minute bar. I also would say that, you know, target-wise, there's a lot of volume between, it's right around that halfway mark of the prior 10-minute bar as well. Between 45 half and 47, there's a lot of volume. And the halfway mark's at 45.75, and the heaviest volume's at 46. So
for profit target, what are you talking about?
Just like maybe getting out at about 46, 45, somewhere in there if it goes down there.
So not a big trade, right? Just down here, right?
No, but it's, hey, if on a one lot in the ES, it's $200. That's the way I look at it.
Gotcha.
I'd want to get closer to a new TPO and look for a reversal pattern or something if I was going to, I think it's just going to all of a sudden, like I don't see this totally reversing and taking out the L period and just cratering, you know, just not yet.
Taking out the low of L period here.
Yeah, that would mean the candle would totally flip over and just not feeling it myself.
No.
I mean, we may get another pop up, but if we can get a move back down to, and 46 is also the overnight high from that week of Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I got the regular trading hours high at 38.75, and then the Globex session the night before was up there about 45.75.
Okay, so we've got about 1-to-1 risk reward on that if we were going to be looking for a cover down about here. In 1 second. Les, welcome to Top Stop. Lots to learn about the TPO charts, of course. Okay, we are out.
Yeah. Huge low volume node right above here at 57 half. So, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't want to lure anybody else into a short at this point because that didn't work. But I'm going to try it.
Okay. Well, it's certainly working very hard not to let anybody in for a long. I got one question here, but I'm going to look at this on a different platform here. Can we change the time on TS Trader to shorter TPOs? I don't believe that we can. I think on TS Trader we are stuck with 30-minute TPOs. I'm looking at the back end here, and I don't see anywhere where we can shorten up the time. Because we know Ben's able to cut it into pieces.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to help with that. I don't know TS Trader at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's a possibility. Just looking at the back end of it. September 9th, naked point of control from September 9th, 4067. Wow. That's my birthday, by the way.
So there certainly is, I guess, potential for shortcoming, and anything can happen, but it sure has come a long way.
Huh.
And I just could see it being too long, but then again, could end on a spike,
Mm-hmm. Huh. I wish I was going to be 30, Patty. Well, Les, we're glad you found us too.
So Joe said he was the one who comes on here sometimes from Connecticut,
Yep.
New Hampshire.
Yep.
Well, that's great. He's trading at 79 because it keeps your mind sharp.
It sure does, huh? So R3 is at 62.5. We've got 67, the naked point of control from September 9th. What are we looking at as far as... See, I'm always looking for low volume nodes to get into a move, but we're so extended in this move. 41.23 is weekly kickoff high. That's the next level where I believe longer time frame traders will adjust inventory. What was our volume like today? Some pretty decent volume. New York has 36% more volume than yesterday. 36% more volume than yesterday. So a pretty good jump in volume here. Low volume node here we just tried to kind of get to. What to do? Michael, I'm with you. On days with moves like this, when I can't believe it can keep going higher, it does. Delta is, yeah, up 26,000 currently. Well, now we gotta... They don't want to buy the high. We don't want to, and we certainly don't want to be picking the high because that hasn't paid off since Powell started speaking.
What do you say anyway? I didn't.
I haven't really had the opportunity to read too much through what he had to say. Hang on a second here. With unemployment still low, the Fed is in a position to get inflation under control. I don't want to over-tighten, and cutting rates is not something I intend to do anytime soon. One risk management strategy is to go slower, while another is to hold on longer. Well, of course. I think there's still a path to a soft or softish landing without a severe recession. Slowing down at this point is a good way to balance risks. The Fed has been able to look through supply disruptions in the past. It's unclear whether this will continue. Wage increases are now being offset by inflation for the majority of workers. I think he's pleased with the way things are slowing down. Fed swaps show a pairing of expected terminal rate around 5.02%, around 5%. Fed policy rate futures imply a 75% chance of a half-point rate hike in December. So, smaller rate hike in December. Seems pleased with the way things are going, but cautious. Well, generally speaking, my rule is when we're in balance, we fade to the extremes. Upon acceptance outside of balance, we go with it. Let's see if we can get a chance down here at 56 for a long. I'm going to put the order in. Let's vote on it. Because we're going to be risking just through this low volume node. We're risking maybe five or 6 points to get continuation to the upside. If the market even gives it to us, it's really doing a good job of trying to keep us out. All right. R3 at 62.50. All right, we've got pretty much a mandate on this. 91% like the long. Do we want to think about taking the short at 62.50 to see if maybe that holds? Let's take that vote as well. Whoops. Relaunch. Looking for a short at 62.50. Let's see what we've got. JD, yeah, you went to lunch and came back to this, right? Crazy. 40% participating, just about half, just about even as far as our idea of shorting 62.50. Let's see if we get a couple more people. We'll get the vote in. All right. We're about 55 to 45 here.
So we got a new TPO in just a couple minutes.
Not a mandate. New 30-minute TPO in a couple of minutes. $62.50 is high in the S&Ps right now. In the minis, micros 275. Joe would sell a stop at 54.50, which is breaking microstructure. Yeah, Powell lit a fire that's still burning. Joe, thank you for that idea. We're going to put in a stop 54 even. See if we can try and get long here. Well, it's looking a little bit lower than that because this low volume node. Zach, markets hit all the points of interest I found on Sunday night, but can't seem to trade them. It's a scary thing when the market's like this, right? It's huge. We're breaking out of balance and accepting out of balance. I really like the idea for the long, even with the extension that we've been through already. Yeah, right, Caesar? Daily time frame, the chart looks clear up to 41.20, which is 41.23 is weekly kickoff high right up here, this white line up here. New TPO. Poor high. Just not giving much back, at least not yet. Got about a half an hour left here of the day. Ben, how was your Thanksgiving?
Well, it was going to be Golden Corral, but I got invited to somebody's house, and
Nice.
Good time. So
Nice.
I was there about 3 hours, and it went by. It was such a good time. It went by like it was an hour.
Good.
So it was good. Thanks for asking.
You bet. Just keeps on ticking.
Yeah, I'd have to adjust my charts to go back and look at the
I know.
structure.
Right.
That's far back, but there's that big gap down. So unfortunately, if you're long, that's great. But if you're not, there's a lot of fuel for short covering. And
There's that gap right there, right?
make it bigger here.
Our little island top here. This is
Yes, exactly.
that's
Yeah,
the regular trading hours chart only.
that's it. So This could be a big ending.
Just pulled everything. We're just going to sit here and watch this thing go higher and higher. Yeah. Vince is saying Powell got all his cronies long earlier today.
You wonder. It's a lot of power.
Certainly is. Certainly is. There's a lot of money out there just waiting. JD, I haven't traded options since I was on the trading floor. Well, I can stop it right now. We're going to buy one. Better get short. It's amazing how I can do this. Travis. I got a chuckle out of Travis. Hey, Jay Gilmo, too. I want to look for a lower low, even if it's just one tick, right? It's not giving it back. This market is really working hard at not letting us in. So we jumped in. And here we go. FOMO works today. Tim Tim. Tim Tum. FOMO works today. Good night, Manuel Caesar. All right, so I have no idea on any kind of potential profit target for this long. Suggestions?
Volume drops off around 70, 75 on the contract. So there's that. But there's all that. I'd have to look at the structure, but like there's all that gap.
Rob Thomas, weekly kickoff high, 41.23. God, could we do that today? I mean, it's possible. Look at this day. The 10th. We'll see. We shall see. I still can't get over Christine McVie. That's just nagging at me. My daughter is 25 years old. Huge Fleetwood Mac fan.
Lizzie Buckingham's supposed to be playing my town here. Maybe he already was here. I'll have to look, but it was like right around now.
Definitely see him. Very unique, very excellent guitarist.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
A lot of people think Never Going Back is like one of the hardest songs they've ever played.
You know he sings Holiday Road from
Yeah. Yep. Yep. but he'd be definitely worth going to see. You know, he never took a guitar lesson. Has no idea about music theory.
Well, neither did Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Some people just have it. Great Dane. Fed Chairman Powell spoke at 12:30 Central today. We were on our lows when he started speaking, and this is what happened. See, I told you I could pick the high. It's the deepest pullback we've seen since we've been together here in HOAG Money. If we take out the low of this TPO, Ben, do we cannonball it?
Cannonball it meaning go short?
Yep.
Are you in a position now?
Yeah.
So you're saying flip over? Like
Right.
reverse?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we could get that flush. Depends on who's in control, I guess, today.
We're long. We were long at 67.25. These whole moving averages are now above price. That can be an indication of slowing momentum. Yeah, I'm sure we're getting some delta. We're getting some of those short time frame longs getting nervous here. That's what makes me think maybe we do look to cannonball this if we take out the low of this current TPO. What we're going to do now is we're going to do an example of how not to trade. Travis, yeah, we've all, I think, blown up too many accounts switching back and forth too many times, right?
Yeah.
We're still in.
That time of day, though, it starts to get a little choppy, too.
Yeah, a little bit dicey. Ooh.
So how are you doing with 4 days a week, make HOAG money? Are you still enjoying it?
Oh yeah.
Good.
No, I love it. We're still, going to see about making some changes to the times beginning of next year. A lot of folks have suggested doing it at 9:30 instead of for the open for the S&Ps, so we can get the initial balance, get a little bit more context throughout the day.
That's great.
I mean, we could do it four different days during the week. I think that might be something interesting. The problem with that is there's 4 different links that I would have to be putting out there for each different time. I don't think that I can have different times on those webinars with the same link in Zoom.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep straight for yourself, but then everybody who doesn't know which link to join with.
Right. Everybody's like, hey, the link doesn't work. Well,
Yeah.
that's the 9 o'clock link. So we're gonna try and figure out how we can work all that out. But no, I enjoy it. I think it's great for everybody to kind of have their voice heard, and make suggestions for trades. I'm always watching the chats and seeing what people are thinking and saying, and we vote and we chat and we laugh, and it's like almost like being in the pit.
Well, it's always good to hear you and Matt Hoyt and your brother and you guys, just kind of how your rapport with each other is and stuff you remember.
You mean Randolph?
Randolph, yeah.
Yeah, it's been what 1985, I think 1984, 1985. The last time my brother and I were in the same pit.
Well, that's a real neat family heritage you guys have. It really is.
Yeah. Yep, thank goodness Dad moved us to Chicago. He was working for Benson Quinn, a grain company out in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And he got hired by Ralston Purina, and they said, we need somebody to go to either Kansas City Board of Trade or Chicago Board of Trade. And he said, yeah, I'll go to Chicago. So at that time, we were living in St. Louis. And he moved out here, and my mom followed with the 2 kids. 1 kid that they had, actually, at that time. Moved out here, and we've been here ever since.
Well, you've got the accent a little bit.
Yeah, well, I can certainly cheese it. We were moving my daughter from like West Loop up to Wrigley Field, and my son was driving one of the cars. He's like, "How do I get up there?" I said, "Well, you take this street east, you get out to the outer drive. You take the outer drive up to Belmont. Now she's moving to Addison, but you can't get off the outer drive at Addison. You got to get off at Belmont." Just comes out.
Everybody doesn't know what he's talking about. Just listen to Dan Aykroyd talk sometime.
Yeah, or the super fans from the '85 Bears from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, I did that with
George Wendt, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little team from a little town that begins with a C and ends with an O, and the middle is HOAG.
By the way, I connected with Frozen Gumwad.
Oh, good.
Had a conversation with him this morning.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I was the one who said, can't be friends with somebody who needs Gumwad.
Okay.
That's my sense of humor.
That's funny. Look at this. This thing is ballistic in one direction all the time until we get in. Then it dies. The first time I saw that chat name, I was like, huh. I like it. Frozen Gumwad.
I forgot to ask him about it. Actually, when I was thinking, okay, I'm going to ask him, where does that come from? And I forgot to ask him after we started talking. 3 minutes till some fireworks, probably. Usually about 10 till. And I think that, what is that? Your market on close stuff?
Oh yeah, the imbalance.
Yeah. Now, is that something that Joe was looking at and telling us about, or do you see something on that? Or
No, I've known about it for a long time. I've never really paid that much attention because usually by this time of the day I'm done.
Right.
I'm either up or down. All I'm going to be down. But there's financial juice. So they're saying 3.5 billion to the buy side.
But does that mean that 3.5 billion are going to be buying?
Yes. Yes. Is that correct? That is correct, right, Joe? If you're still here, yep. Yeah. So there's $3.5 billion worth of purchasing left to do by the end of the day.
Well, the funny thing is that, and I'd heard about market on close a long time ago with some people I used to trade with, but I never watched it and didn't really follow it. But the thing is, one thing I noticed was like, oh, okay, this will tell me which direction it's going to go, but it doesn't. It doesn't always work out that way.
No. No, and usually it happens so fast, there's no real way to. You better be in it first.
Well, this is also, I think, something to factor in here, which I thought about early this morning, but I'd forgotten about, is this is end of the month, and it's VIX options expiration and a couple other ones, weekly, and so I don't know how that plays into things or what happened with this move or how it'll close, but it is a dynamic.
Oh, Joe. Sorry. Here, Joe's going to come on.
Oh, good.
I missed that, Joe. I'm sorry. You're in. I'm getting a little whippy.
Okay, I'm on now.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. We just, I think, had our MOCs.
That MOC, that's the last reveal at 350 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
There were reveals prior to that. So hedge
Right,
fund
early ones.
They're all playing, they're trying to game that.
Sure.
But at 350, that's the last one.
11 billion buy side.
And my son, who's a proprietary equity trader in New York, half the office they play that MOC, and they start playing it usually around 3:30 because they do have some reveals up to that point. But 350 is the last one.
Got it.
At 350, you usually do. I watch a 1 minute candle. You usually get a big 1 minute candle. It's so if you get a trade on prior to 350, be careful.
Right.
You can get taken out when you don't want to get taken out.
Sure. Well, we just got out of our long here up here at about 40.75 quarter, I think is where I ended up selling it. So we're up on the day a little bit, well, which is good after showing a perfect example of exactly how not to trade. So, yeah, I think we made $15 micros, 1 micro. We had 1 loss, 1 win. So I think we're good. Thank you, Joe, for coming on.
Good.
Yeah, tomorrow morning is going to be an interesting one, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Could be a good trading day. Maybe we get a trend day. Either way.
think probably
Go ahead, Joe.
probably the Gorvex is going to take back some of that gap, I would think.
Little Christine McVie for us. Does it sound good?
Not really.
Too loud?
Little distortion.
Better? There, how's that? Yes, sir.
Yeah, one thing about that MOC,
Mm-hmm.
you can't, just because you see a big buy MOC or sell of MOC, it really, everyone's hedging against that. So you can't say, oh my God, I got to jump in long, there's $3 billion to buy.
Right, because they're already in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're just looking to use that to get out at a profit.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Which is sort of what we just did.
Huge liquidity between 75 and 77 just showed up. I mean, it is massive.
Let's see what happens if it gets up there, huh?
Yeah. It's taking it out. They're not pulling either. They're trading it. They are trading it. Wow. Thousand contracts since I spoke up.
Huh. Mike, how do you get non-continuous? You just use the product code ESZ2. The continuous chart is the and sign and then ES.
They're just adding liquidity all the way up to 78. They keep chewing through it. $350, $450, $300, $500. Almost 2,000 traded since I spoke up.
At just those few prices.
Yeah. From 75 to 76.50. Now they're going at it again.
Reload.
Yep.
Reload.
Yep.
What's our delta looking like? 30,000 positive.
Are these shorts covering?
Well, I don't know how.
Throw it in
Well,
the towel?
I would. If it is, these are just the top pickers that have been getting run over all day long.
Large time frame players, because this is size, big size.
Yeah, I'm looking at the dome in the S&Ps. It's 200 to 300 on every price.
That's the way it used to be like 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. There's 500 offered at 575. 400 every other price.
And they just keep filling that in. From here all the way up to 78.50.
Oh,
Right.
got you. All right. Michael, if you go to the daily chart and you hit configure chart elements, click. Top Time period, D, candlestick. Hang on a second. Maybe it's on the 30. Oh. Yeah, go to the daily, go to the time period, go to custom time. No, that ain't going to work either. Maybe it's here. I think I've done it here. Custom time. No. Time frame, custom, start session, stop session.
Thanks, Hoag. I gotta hop off.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much. Just helping Michael here with his chart. So again, go to the 30-minute chart. Where was that? Custom time. No. I just had it. Okay, you saw it. Okay, all right, good. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Not too much. Where does the late spike start? It's a good question. I think there's a couple of late spikes. I believe this is the initial late spike here, M period extension. But I'm also going to be probably focusing on this as well. Let's see what happens. Boy, oh boy, this thing just keeps on going. It's a good question, Vince. Because pretty much this whole day has been a late spike. Since here, this market has been seeking balance and has yet been able to find it. Wow, what a day. Yeah, look at this on the daily. Almost as big as this. This is quite the move. What's it look like on the NASDAQ? Ooh.
Well, I need to confess something.
You all right?
All right, so I had a pretty good morning, and then I had lunch and did some other stuff, and I came back, and, well, that morning's gone.
Oh, man.
But I have this rule that I keep forgetting. And it's like, okay, if I have a good morning and I come back later, I can only spend half of that, and then I'm done.
Oh, man.
And I forget it. I forget that rule every time since I've been implementing it.
Dude, I am sorry.
Oh, no, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I came in, this is one of those tricks where it's moved so far, you can't help but be contrarian.
Right.
Because you don't want to get on long. And I hadn't done the homework all the way back to where there was all that. I wasn't expecting it. Sounds like none of us were. Where we had all that open, lack of daytime structure back there that's easily, I don't know, if you look back on it, it's such a huge gap. I'm sure it's like one time frame all the way down. It just makes for good short covering material, And I just kind of got caught up in taking shots to catch that flush. And, it's all right. But
all right. Well, tomorrow's another day, and
another day.
another learning session.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look forward to seeing everybody. Well, if not for the forecast this afternoon, tomorrow for the recap and make HOAG money.
Thank you so much.
Everybody have a great day. Another exciting day for us tomorrow. Easy, you're a moose. Easy, you're a moose.